So it seems like my area is about to get hit with one of them big new fancy data centers, and that sounds awfully exciting. I mean, it is kind of shady that all the elected officials decided to wait until after the election to tell us about this. Some of them claiming that they had to sign NDAs to not be able to tell their constituents that they were going to have a big, massive data center around. That's pretty cool and kind of concerning. However, they were kind enough to copy and paste some talking points instead of like directly answering people's questions about what's going on. And I figured, you know what, let's go over some of these and see if I see anything that just kind of blatantly sticks out. And the first part of this sounds great. The Muskie Data Campus will pay the full standard industrial rate with no discounts, subsidies, or special exemptions. Now that sounds absolutely fantastic. Let's move on. Approximately 94% of the transmission upgrade costs are expected to be allocated outside Kentucky. Of the remaining Kentucky allocation, the campus is expected to fund approximately half. Well, that doesn't make any sense. They made it seem like Kentucky residents were going to have to pay for any of the upgrade costs, yet it seems like they were expecting this campus to fund approximately half of it. So who's going to fund the other half of it? Maybe just AEP is going to do it out of the kindness of their hearts. Now the next little sentence is absolutely amazing. The project represents a significant long-term investment in Eastern Kentucky and is expected to generate substantial economic activity, tax revenue, and workforce development opportunities for the region. I'm just curious if they have to pay the same tax revenue as everybody else, because seemingly this area decides that any big company that wants to move in here, we just give them massive tax breaks. But I couldn't imagine that they would do something like that. But what about the substantial economy activity? Well, that's definitely going to happen for the next 4 years, and then it's absolutely going to dry up because they're only expected to have a couple hundred people running this billion-dollar operation full time. So there won't be that big of an impact. But you know what? That's a couple hundred more people with a job. So that's great. Now it seems like they keep wanting to rehash on the meaningful community and workforce benefits. It's almost like they're trying to cover something up with this. It's saying the project is expected to create hundreds of well-paying construction jobs over a multi-year build-out, along with permanent operational positions and additional contractor opportunities. Sweet. TeraWulf intends to prioritize local hiring and workforce development in partnership with regional education institutions to help build a skilled, long-term employment base in Eastern Kentucky. And this sounds absolutely amazing. It sounds like they're going to take the local community college and build some sort of program where thousands of people apply to it for only a couple hundred people to get a job. And notice that it says long-term employment base in Eastern Kentucky and not long-term employment base in TeraWulf's facility. I wonder if that's just like a play on words, or maybe it was some sort of weird error where they didn't actually specify the company, just Eastern Kentucky. But I'm probably overthinking it, since it clearly says right there, TeraWulf intends to prioritize local hiring and workforce development. But intend is a funny word, isn't? I intend to be a millionaire by next year. Now, whether it happens or not, we really don't know. They're saying that this is purpose built for AI and HPC, which is a high performance computing system, and not Bitcoin mining. However, if you know anything about Bitcoin mining, you'll understand how easy it would be to take a high performance computing system and switch it over to Bitcoin mining. But you know what? They said that they absolutely wasn't going to use it for Bitcoin mining, unless maybe like the AI bubble pops and all of a sudden people just don't need this many data centers. So what else are you going to do with it? Let it sit there? No, you're probably going to end up using it for Bitcoin mining. I mean, that's obviously what the investors would expect out of this operation. They ain't just going to let them shut down the operation. That's silly. But the next item just seems like they're really trying to drill into everybody's head. The project will not receive ratepayer subsidies, discounted electric rates, or special exemptions. The campus will pay the same published industrial tariff rate available to any qualifying industrial customer, classified as confidential. That's a little weird to, like, I feel like I would have like deleted that out of this if I was, it's almost like they didn't even read this or something. It was like, hey, you know what, just post this online and people will shut up. They won't even understand what's going on. Now there are a lot of things that bother me about this entire project, but one of the things that really irritates me is whenever they put out things like this and then they don't list any of the negative effects. Just take this for example. The Muskie Data Campus is designed exclusively to support artificial intelligence and high performance computing workloads, not Bitcoin mining. That's cool. Potential applications include healthcare, scientific research, natural language processing, and autonomous systems. You know what else AI is great at? Generating CP. But, you know, they left that part out, didn't they? Or making deepfakes of your children. And if you don't know what a deepfake is, just imagine that a computer generates an image of your kid looking however the person wants it to look. And yes, it's much worse than what you're actually thinking. But you know what? AI excels and it's great for everybody. Anyways, I just wanted to let you all know about it. And let me know if you all think this is just as shady as I do, or maybe I'm overthinking it. Okay, bye.